I'm really nervous today, but I'm going to try to make this quick because I don't want to be on here all day, because if I am, I know I will cry. But every Wednesday, I challenge my team to share their why. Why are you in this business? Why did you pick pharmacy? Once you picked pharmacy, why did you stay here? Why do I want a second job? I am not even kidding you. I spend a lot of time working my business, right? Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Me and several other girls on my team, one of the girls came at me and said, "Hey, I want to start a book club. You want to start a book club?" I'm like, well, okay, we could start a book club. I really do love to read. I love audiobooks. I love to listen to them on my commute. I love to listen to them in the morning. The first book that we read was Les Brown, 12 Steps to Success. It was amazing. I want to read it again. I really need him to put that on audio. If any of y'all would like to just maybe call me on my morning commute and read it to me, that would be great, because I love listening and growing while I'm in that commute, right? So the book that we picked now, I can't even remember the name. It's a blue book. It has 3 words. It's like Time, Money, Freedom, or something along those lines, right? It's by Ray Higdon. I know who Ray Higdon is. He's amazing. He is literally a success story like you wouldn't believe. Raised in an abusive home. I mean, just a really hard life, right? And he decided that he wanted something different. So yesterday I read chapter 1. And his wife, Jessica, is reading chapter 1. And she said, I was at a friend's house the other day and I heard that statement, "You get what you get and you don't throw a fit." And I'm like, oh yeah. She said it in a little bit different way, but that's the saying, right? That's how my kids learned it, right? Literally in kindergarten, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? If it's snack time, you get the red cup, you get what you get, you don't throw a fit because you want the yellow one. Because you wanted the blue jump rope and the green one was the only one left, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? That has been ingrained in our minds, that we should be content, that we should just accept whatever is given to us with no room for any kind of emotion whatsoever. And while it's probably a good lesson as a kid, right? I don't need a 30-minute tantrum because you wanted, the purple sippy cup and I gave you the pink one that also had purple on it, but it was pink. Like, I get in theory why we say that, right? Because literally, we can't be throwing fits about every little thing, right? But I think that we're teaching our children to really suppress emotion, to accept what the world says that life should look like. And that was really hard for me yesterday. I'm not even going to lie. I'm standing in my kitchen. I'm making breakfast, lunches. I'm listening to my audiobook, and I'm just crying. Because what he talks about is when he was a young kid, he's working at the Winn-Dixie. And he goes to his manager because he's like, looking for a career. Like, what am I going to do with my life? And he goes to the manager and says, "So, hey, I kind of want to know about your job. I'm kind of putting some feelers out for, things I might want to do in this life. And how long have you been here?" And he's, something like 12 years or, something like this. He's like, "Do you love it?" He's like, "No. In fact, I hate it. But it's a really good job, and I make really good money, and I have some good benefits, and, I have a 401k, and, it's a really good job." He's like, "But you hate it? Why do you do something your whole life that you hate?" But here's the thing is that we're told is that we have to, graduate high school, possibly go to college, for women, get married, have kids. And I know that some of these things are changing, but still it's in my mind that these were the things that were kind of expected of me, right? To get a job, to work there for 30, 35 years, to do the things that you were supposed to do, right? But then you get to the end, and honestly, whenever I'm thinking about that, I'm like, my husband's been a plumber for 20 years. 20 years he has perfected his trade. 20 years. He hates it. But he feels too old to do anything different. What is he going to do? He's going to learn a new skill? He's going to start over on the pay scale at the bottom when he's worked for 20 years to get to a foreman position with a company that pays really well, has really great benefits, has some retirement, has those things. Like, he couldn't like start over, right? Like, no. I mean, how would we pay for our cars? How would we pay for our house? How would we buy groceries? How would we do all the things? Good morning, good morning. How would we do any of those things, right? Because he spent 20 years building an income and a life because it wasn't a passion of his. Do you know why he's a plumber? I guarantee he didn't wake up one day and be like, man, if I could do anything in the whole world, plumbing would be what it is. No, he did not do that. Someone gave him a job. He needed a job. He was a young guy. He needed a job, and they offered to train him. And 20 years later, he's doing something that he literally hates. And that is really sad to me. And this morning I read these statistics. You guys, I could be so emotional about this. I'm going to try hard not to. But 80% of Americans are in debt. Holy cow. Tens of millions of Americans applied for unemployment in 2020. If 2020 taught me anything, it's that no job is secure. No job. You guys, I work in a doctor's office. I've been there almost 10 years. And I do the billing, okay? We have 2 locations, and I do the billing at my location, and then there is a biller at our other location, but I'm the only one who does my job, right? And I have kind of an important job. And not only is it a really important job, I do an incredible job at it. Like, my accounts receivable is the lowest it has ever been, and it has been since I started because I work really hard. I follow up. I take it seriously. I excel at my job. So I know it's secure, right? I've been there almost 10 years. I am the best at what I do, and it shows. I have to report that weekly, so there's proof, right? And I'm the one who collects the money so that everyone else can work and get paid, so that we can, buy the things that our office needs. Like, I am the person that is responsible for that, and I do a superb job. Superb job. I was laid off last year. If you didn't experience something like that, we definitely did not have the same 2020. Because when my sister called to ask me how I would want to know if I was being laid off, is a text too impersonal? Should she call every single person? Because half the office was being laid off. In my mind, that still did not compute to me. 10 years, amazing job. Super loyal. I create no drama. I am the employee that every employer would want, right? And it didn't occur to me that she was laying me off. I had no idea at that time what unemployment was. I was terrified. I just cried. I had no idea what my family would do without that job. And then I thought, okay, I've been building this side business for, at that point, 5 years. So we're going to be okay. Even if I didn't get any unemployment, I still could have paid my bills. My car would not have been repossessed. I would not have been evicted from my home. My family still would have eaten. It would have been, we still would have even had the luxury of cell phones. Because I started 5 years ago saying, maybe I need a little bit extra. Maybe I need that $60. Maybe I need that $200. Maybe I need that $500. And then when I switched to pharmacy, my mind got even bigger to where I'm like, number 1 comp plan in all of direct sales. Yes, I can do that, right? Number 1, y'all. Not number 12. I would be so happy if I was in the top 10 or 20. We're number 1, you guys. That's incredible. There's a list, and pharmacy is at the top. And that's pretty incredible. But when I think about being laid off last year, I thought, no job is secure. Not the one you've been at for 10 years and that you excel. You can still be the one chosen to not have a job. And that's terrifying, right? So this is why they're constantly telling you to always have more than one stream of income, because if one goes away, you still have something else. You haven't put all your eggs in one basket. But here's the thing is that we're taught is that we need to have one basket, all the eggs. We need to carry that basket of eggs around for the next 30 to 35 years, whether we like it or not. Because, you guys, it's reported that 70% of Americans hate their job. And y'all, here's the thing is, I see your post. I see you wishing for the weekend. I see you complaining about your coworkers. I hear you complaining about your job. I hear you complaining about your pay. Yesterday, literally, someone commented on one of my posts. Oh no, it was a happy birthday. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I hope that you enjoy your birthday and that you're spoiled, all the things. And she was like, well, I would be, but we're broke. Oh, okay then. Okay then. I mean, my response was literally, well, if like I got to sleep in, like someone made me breakfast. Lord baby Jesus, if someone did my laundry and put it away, best birthday ever. Best birthday ever. Like it's not even about the money, but the whole idea that you think that you have to miss out because you don't have the money, right? When there are options to work hard and get money and be okay and happy in this life. Because here's the thing, is my husband's been working for 20 years in an industry that he hates. You guys, I do not love billing insurance. I do not mind my job. I don't. I sit in an office by myself all day long, an introvert's dream. And I get catered lunches a lot. I have pretty decent pay, but there's nothing fulfilling about my job. I've never been like, oh my gosh, my heart is so full because I got that insurance to pay for that bill. No. No, there is nothing fulfilling. I am not changing lives. I am not doing any of those things. And here's the thing is that it's $20 to join pharmacy. And you have the opportunity to do as much or as little as you want. You want $100 a month? Let's get you that. You want $500 a month? Let's get you that. You want $1,000 a month? Let's get you that. You have to work for it. It's not easy. But here's the thing is last year taught me so much of the importance of having a side job. It just is. And that whole attitude of you get what you get and you don't throw a fit that's been ingrained in us since we were small children, we carry that into adulthood. And you're like, well, I have this job and, well, I got what I got. It just is what it is. Me and my husband. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Every one of your tools got stolen from the job site. Yeah, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. We're taught that we shouldn't have emotion about those things. That we shouldn't feel like we deserve more. Did you know, the average 401k provides $150,000 for retirement. If you retire at 55, that only gets you to 75. I know people who live to 90. Can a person live on $150,000? What quality of life will you have? Plus, a lot of that's going to go to healthcare, let's just be honest, right? Because you're going to have to pay for your insurance and all your doctor's visits, because as we get older, everything happens. I felt that this morning, blow drying my hair, threw my back out. I haven't had back problems since I had back surgery, and I was blow drying my hair, y'all. Blow drying my hair. But we're just taught that you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And by throwing that fit, that's making changes. That's saying, this is unfair. This isn't right. And we just keep taking that, saying, that it's just going to be okay. It's just how it is. I'll never have more because it's just how it is. I'll never be able to change jobs because, well, I've been here for 10 years. I've been here for 20 years. I've been here for how many years? I can't change jobs. But what if you took small steps that led to a completely different life? Because here's the thing is that we all have the same opportunities, right? I was speaking about this same opportunity, different company, but same type of opportunity over 6 years ago. And no one that joined me then is with me now. And there are probably still the same ones who hate their job. They're still broke. They still can't do the things they want. They still can't take the vacations. They can't afford the groceries. Now you can't afford gas. Like, now even just to get to work, it costs you more money. But what if you had this opportunity that you could do something different? You could give it a try. And really, you had minimal to lose, right? It's $20. And here's what I'm going to say about that is it's $20 to join. And do I think that if you are a real go-getter, you could build a business on $20? I do. 100% I do. You can take the samples, you can make videos, you can do pictures, you can do all the things. I believe that. I do. I wouldn't sell this opportunity if I didn't think it was. Do I think that sometimes you have to put an investment into something to get further faster? Yeah, probably. I might have to buy a foundation so that I can show it to you more than one time with my sample, right? Maybe, yeah. But, I mean, you are getting it at 50% off. So, if you like the BB cream, you're paying like under $8 for it. So, if you're already wearing makeup, you can afford this, right? So, it's not like an extra thing. For me, it was legit an extra thing because I wasn't wearing makeup. I was, kind of. I wore a translucent setting powder for foundation because no one told me what it was for or what to do with it, and I wore it as foundation. And I wore a mascara and an eyeliner some days, not all the time. So I had to invest some in my business, but the most thing that I had to invest was time and being uncomfortable. I don't love coming on here and going live. I don't at all. Tonight I'm doing a team training for my team and it's scary. Already this morning I'm worried about that because I'm nervous. But here's the thing is the second I was told I was laid off from a job that I go above and beyond for, I was laid off. It didn't matter that I had been there for almost 9 years at that point. It didn't matter that I did the best job of anyone who's ever had this job. It didn't matter. I was still let go. Thank God I was brought back. Thank God it was only for a few months, right? Like, praise Jesus for that. But here's the thing is, if I hadn't been, I would have worked harder at pharmacy. That's a true story because we work as hard as what we want, right? When you need something, you work harder. I know that whenever when life was really hard, okay, when our cars were being repoed, we were being evicted from crappy duplexes, when my mom was having to help us do our groceries, when we couldn't even afford formula for Dryden, we did WIC. We just kept trying, right? Kept trying. I probably saw my husband the least amount of time in those years because he knew he needed to take every side job he could. He took every side job, regardless of what it was, and he did it in the evenings, on the weekends, all the things so that we could dig out of that hole. You guys, 2 people contacted him this week for side jobs, and he's kind of like, no. Because while I want it, I don't really need it. And the fact that every one of his tools was stolen kind of prohibits him from doing that. And the fact that his truck doesn't run. But just that he is able to do that. That the things that I've done with pharmacy has allowed him to not have to work a 40-hour job and then have to physically leave his family again and go do jobs in the evening times. Most of the time, I would be asleep before he got home. Or I would be taking the kids to the park on a Saturday or Sunday and he would be working. The fact that he doesn't have to do that anymore is literally incredible. And to think that that could start with $20, buy one of those add-on kits, do the videos, post the pictures, do all the things. Start terrible. You guys, my first videos and pictures were terrible. They were so awful. I didn't care. It didn't matter because I needed it more than anything. And as I read through that book and heard that you get what you get, you don't throw a fit, I'm like, that's BS. Because this is my life. I only have one and it goes by quick. Like here in a couple months, I'll be 42 years old. You guys, I can remember my 22nd birthday like it was just yesterday. Just yesterday. Right at my 22nd birthday, I can remember, one, how hard life was, right? Because Stella was like, 11 months old. And maybe she was older than that. She was getting, I can't even remember. She was getting ready to turn 2, right? And I was like, just my 22nd birthday, I had Stella, who was 23 months old. So let's get this right. 23 months old. And Lucy was like a baby. Like it was just hard. And then it went by that fast, right? So here's the thing is I'm done with the you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Because I want more from this life. I want different and I want more and I'm willing to work really, really hard for it. Because I don't want my husband to have to continue working a job that he hates. That's hard for me to swallow, right? Just even hearing him talk about hating his job, hating his profession, and not being able to do anything about it. You guys, that's where most Americans are. And that is heartbreaking to me. And to think that the little bit that I've done this far ensures that he doesn't have to take all those side jobs. He doesn't have to. He can turn them down. Do you get further faster if you work harder? Absolutely. But here's the thing is I don't want him to do something he hates more than what he has to. Right? Because we're not being evicted. The car is not being repossessed. We are buying our own groceries. We're doing all the things now that we couldn't do then. Right? And then we both worked really, really, really hard. And I chose a job, this side business that affords him the luxury of not having to work every night and weekend after he's worked 40 hours at his job. I love that. I wouldn't change that for anything. Plus, I just told you, I don't feel like I'm changing lives at my job, right? I just go there for the paycheck. It just pays well, right? I go there for the paycheck. I don't go there because I love it. Most people don't. I think there's a small percentage of people who absolutely love their job. I probably know 2, maybe 1. I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know, like when you think about and write down all the people you know, if you call them and you're like, hey, do you love your job? Is it 100% fulfilling? Is it something that you could do for every day for the rest of your life, even if you didn't get paid? Would you want to do it? Oh, hell no. No. Pharmacy is like that for me though, because I get to change lives. I get to help women find themselves in the things that they want to do, to feel confident, to feel comfortable, to learn a new skill. You guys, I wasn't a makeup person, and today I did this super fancy eye look, and it is amazing. I don't care what you say. Like I have learned how to contour and blush and do all the things. And today I did a fancy ombre lip look because I had time because I wasn't doing the live, right? So I wasn't talking through it. I could concentrate, y'all. But here's the thing is I went from just feeling like you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You just do. That's life, right? That's just life. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. We don't show emotion. We don't get to be upset. We don't get to be angry. We don't get to be anything. You're expected to be happy 100% of the time. But here's the thing is not everything is the way it's supposed to be. And you can want more, you can do more, and you can get angry if you don't get it. Like, I'm going to work hard. Because here's the thing is the January before I was laid off last year, a year ago in January, someone stole money from my office, and it happened on the Friday before, Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, before I left for my cruise. And I was there and all of this was happening, but there wasn't really anything I could do about it, right? The money was in my office, in a lockbox, in a cabinet that was locked, but apparently the lockbox, whatever. But whenever I got back, honestly, my desk was piled to the ceiling with stuff. I'd been gone a week. No one does my job when I'm gone. I was really overwhelmed. I just tried to do my best to get all my jobs caught up. A week later, I was pulled into the office, accused of stealing, and told how disappointed he was in me because I didn't even come to him to talk about it. I mean, honestly, it happened. I was on a cruise and I got back. I was so overwhelmed with all my work. I didn't steal from you. He's like, well, it got stolen right before you went on a cruise. What? Like, I've been here for so long. I deal with your money every single day. Like, are you kidding me right now? I've worked at that point for over 8 years and this is okay. No job is secure, y'all. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and don't do something for your entire life that makes you miserable. Because it's just not worth it. When I look at my husband and I look at even the wear and tear on his body from a job he's done that he hated. Like if your body was broken down from doing something you loved, I could maybe get down with that. But like when he gets up and he's limping because of the jobs he's done that he hated for 20, like, no. Like I am done with that mentality and that is not something I want to teach to my children. I don't want them to think that they get what they get and they don't throw a fit. I'm not saying walk around and throw tantrums everywhere. What I'm saying is don't settle. Don't just go through this life being content in misery. Because there are other options that you can do. And maybe pharmacy is it and maybe it's not. But there's a million companies just like this. Not the number one paid. I'm just going to throw that out there. But there is something out there for everyone. And if pharmacy is not for you, I wouldn't want you to do it. I had a girl here recently. She literally said, this just isn't for me. And that's okay. I don't want to be a plumber. I wouldn't want to be a teacher. I wouldn't want to be a policeman. I wouldn't want to be a fireman. There's plenty of people who get lots of fulfillment from there. I wouldn't want to be the manager at Sonic. I wouldn't want to be selling health insurance. There's so many things I do not want to do. It's just not for me, right? So I think that we have to find that thing that is for us, because otherwise you end your life with all of these regrets in saying, man, what have I done with my life? Because here's the thing is, Kyle's I don't even know, 44. And he's just like, why am I still doing something that I hate? That's insane to me. And so many people are like that. I'm so excited to read this book. I read chapter 2 this morning. It was so incredible. It's just an amazing book. I'll put it in the comments. But I would just encourage you to really look inside yourself, and maybe pharmacies it, and maybe you have more questions, because I really didn't talk a lot about it this morning. It's just that idea of being content in misery. And I don't know if I decided that 6 years ago, but I definitely decided that probably at least 3 or 4 years ago. Yes, Lori, you are so right. Do not kill yourself for a job that will replace you tomorrow. That they won't care. If you walked out today, it would not matter. It wouldn't matter. So then you end up in a job that can replace you with student loan debt out the wazoo, doing something that you don't even love. It's just so crazy. Yeah. I don't know. And here's the thing too, is I think that we spend a lot of time doing work to build other people's dreams, and we miss out on our own family. I know that Kyle has done that a lot, right? He missed out a lot when the kids were really little because he worked all those side jobs at night and on the weekends. And then when there wasn't enough of that, he went and got his CDL and was literally gone from home for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, the things that he sacrificed with the people that he loves the most in an effort to try to make a future life better, but by doing something that he didn't really want to do anyway. Like, that's mind-blowing to me. Hey, Randy, that is just mind-blowing to me that I just can't fathom that mentality, and that's the mentality that we teach our children. That you should graduate high school, choose at 18 what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's scary in and of itself. And then you should do that, whether you decide you like it or you don't, for the next 30, 40 years. Enjoy. No way. No way. No way in my mother's heart could I do that to my children. I've told all my kids, you don't have to pick right now. Live your life. Take whatever jobs you want. Travel, do the things that bring you joy. And unless it's like being a serial killer, then I'm not going to say that's okay. Some of them. Yeah, whenever Kyle was getting his CDL, he was over the road for so many weeks. I was home with Dryden. He was 1. The girls were there at that point, every few days. And it was a lot. It was a lot. And I guess I didn't know back then. And here's the thing, is that social media has come so far and allows us to do so much, where before I would have had to do in-home parties, and that would have terrified me because, well, I'm an introvert and extreme introvert. Just saying the words, I get a little itchy. But now it's so easy because you can do it socially, and that's incredible, right? So I'm going to jump off here. If you have more questions about pharmacy, let me know. I will post the book that I'm reading in the comments because it's worth the read for sure. I literally love my little book club so much. And actually, we had several more girls join us this month, and I was so excited about that. Because it just means you want to grow and you want more and you want to do something different. And if we're not growing, we're dying. I promise you. If you are not doing something to grow every day, you will die. If my plants aren't growing and I just stop watering them, they die. It's just what happens. If we're not growing, we're dying. It's one of the two. It's very, very, very rare for us to just stay stagnant and, not do anything good or bad and just stay the same. It doesn't generally happen. It just doesn't. If we don't take care of our health, we deteriorate. We don't just stay the same. That doesn't happen, right? That's the same way of your emotional health, your mental health, your everything, your spiritual health, everything. If you're not feeding into it, it goes away. It just leaves. So I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. And I will be back tomorrow with makeup because, well, I want Kyle to not have to do a job he hates. I want him to be able to quit that altogether. That would be my best day. And I feel like he's already been able to pull back a lot on the side jobs. And maybe that's a little bit too because he has worked in this field for so long and he does get paid more now than he did before. But we also have a whole lot more bills, right? Our house is a whole lot more expensive. Our cars are a whole lot more expensive. The kids are a whole lot more expensive. All the things, right? So I don't know. I have to think that pharmacy has done a whole lot, not just for me. Not just for the kids because I spoil them with all the things, but so much for Kyle too that I think we don't even really see because it's just been so gradual over time. So I love you guys and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.